Hey, welcome everybody, and welcome to our weekly show. We call it Three Broke Guys Handicapping, where we review one of the top racing cars from around the United States. We will select a four-race sequence from that track and attempt to come to a consensus on a pick four ticket. Thank you for joining us on the Getaway Friday. This week, it's the Woodward Stakes from Saratoga Springs Racetrack in Saratoga Springs, New York. The pick four starts with race number 9, and it finishes in race number 12. It includes the Grade 1 Woodward Stakes in race number 10 and the Grade 1 Spinaway in race number 9. My name is Rich Sharp, and each week I'll be joined by my friends and racing analysts. I've got Ray Torado, who joins us from Staten Island, New York. All right, Ray, we have seen some exceptional performances the last few weeks. That includes Songbird, we've seen Flincher, we've seen California Chrome, and last week a record-breaking performance by Arrogant. All right, in your opinion, which of those horses delivered the most impressive performance this summer? And if you've got someone else, go ahead and just slip that horse in there. Don't really limit it.
My tag. This is tough. I mean, Songbird won easily. She was tested, but she just ran off them. Chrome ran his race. He ran well. Arrogant surprised me, but I think I have to go. I have to say Arrogant because I mean he broke the track record. I mean nobody's ever gotten under 2 minutes, so I gotta say Arrogant.
All right. And from Temecula, California, all right, Joe English. Joe, you know I usually switch this question up for you, but I kind of like this one. So it's your turn. Again, we've seen some really good horses these past few weeks. I threw out a few names there. Which performance caught your eye so far this summer?
Well, considering that California Chrome beat Beholder and Dortmund in that race, I'd have to go with California Chrome. Arrogant did beat a Triple Crown race winner in Exaggerator, but I'm not sure if we've seen that Exaggerator is much better on a sloppy track than he is on a fast track. So I'll give Arrogant credit. It was a fantastic performance, but I'd have to go with Chrome based on the level of competition that he beat.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Because I was asked last week and people wanted to know and things like that, so absolutely. Bob was certainly shaking his head at the Three Broke Guys last week, and I'll do even one better. Not only was Bob shaking his head last week and things like that, but Mike Smith was absolutely just insanely shaking his head as well as he set the record last week. So both of my toys were up in arms that the Three Broke Guys missed not one but two Bob Baffert horses that ran 1-2 in the Travers Stakes. So. All right. We're going to turn our attention to Saratoga Racetrack in Saratoga Springs, New York. It's a quick program update for those who watch the show live. We are going to be moving to YouTube Live beginning with our September the 12th broadcast. This is not a decision of the Three Broke Guys. Google Hangouts on Air is going away, and it's being replaced by YouTube Live. So we will have one more broadcast here on the Google Hangouts on Air, and then we will go to YouTube Live beginning with our September the 12th broadcast. All right, I am going to turn over to our most recent addition to our broadcast. With the weather forecast from Saratoga Springs, New York, I'd like you all to please welcome Miss Anastasia Austin. And I am going to play a video broadcast from her real quick, so hang on while I share my screen. Let me know if you guys can see this. We'll go ahead and fire it up for you.
I just see the cloud, Rich.
Hang on 1 second, Jim.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if you had.
It's playing on my screen. I can see it here. So let me see. We got the video just before, but let me see if I can get this on my desktop.
All righty.
There she is.
There she is. All right, here we go. So I've got my volume turned up here. Okay, here we go with Miss Anastasia Austin, and this is our weather update from Saratoga.
No volume.
Mm.
All right, were you guys able to see Anastasia and hear her?
I
Saw
saw
her,
it, yeah.
did not hear her.
You could not hear her. Okay. Again, my fault for not checking my email a little bit sooner. Or Joe got me the video broadcast just as we were doing this, or as I was getting it up, and I could not quite get it up to YouTube in time. So, let's see if I can try that one more. All right. Well, Anastasia, if you are out there, my apologies. I will make sure that I get that correctly loaded for you next week. And I am going to go ahead and commence with our handicapping here. So today we have a total of 12 races. We've got 4 stakes that are on tap for Saturday. Tonight we are focused on the pick 4. It begins in race number 9 and it concludes in race number 12. Gentlemen, the gates are locked and loaded. Shall we go ahead and get started?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. First up on tap, it's race number 8, the Spinaway Stakes. It's a Grade 1 going 7 furlongs on the main track. First is $350,000 for fillies, 2-year-olds only. 7 starters, and your morning line favorite at 2-1 is in post number 5. Cherry Lodge for trainer Todd Petcher and ridden by John Velasquez. Ray, these are some of the classiest young ladies in the sport on display, so naturally, you go first in the Spinaway.
Yeah, these are some nice 2-year-old fillies. This the last stake race of them for Saratoga, the Spinaway. It's a really nice race. Over here, well, I'm gonna go with the Plateau Exacta. Saratoga usually is 2-year-old showcase. Number 1, Sweet Loretta, 5-2 morning line. She won the Schuylerville opening day of the meet. Very impressive lead coming off the pace. She's 2 for 2, training well in a training track. And this slightly off the pace style should fit her at 7 furlongs. Shouldn't be a problem for her. The switch to Castellano helps also. And also right behind her will be Cherry Lodge. I think she's got the speed, so she'll be the leader of the Pletcher relay race. First time against winners and stakes competition. Also has a sharp worker on the training track. John Velasquez has the mount. So I can see this race going Cherry Lodge in front, Sweet Loretta closing, number 2, 1-2 in the wire. As a B pick, Runaway Doll, the name suits. She ran away by 13 lengths on a sloppy track. Lean jockey Jose Ortiz picks up the mount. She could spoil the Pletcher party. So those are my picks. I'm going a little light here with the Pletchers. 1 and 5, a B pick with a 3. Joe, we got to say about the Spinaway. It's a Grade 1 for 7 furlongs.
Yeah, it's been a home of very classy fillies in the past, and I'm just gonna open with a stat, and I know how much everybody loves statistics. I was looking at this earlier. I had the formulator PPs open, and I looked and I said, okay, let me look at Todd Pletcher with 2-year-old favorites on the dirt at this meet. Well, with 2-year-old favorites on the dirt this meet, he's having a paltry 7 of 8, 88% winning percentage on this meet. So to me, this is a 1-horse race. Cherry Lodge is going to win. It's funny. I'm looking at the speed figures on the Brisnet performances show Sweet Loretta's performance in the Schuylerville is better than the maiden race that Cherry Lodge ran. But Cherry Lodge in Bayer speed figure numbers, Cherry Lodge's figure is an 89. And Sweet Loretta's figure, if I have it correctly, I want to say was in the 70s. So, and since most of the patrons generally have daily racing form information, Sweet Loretta's number was 75. I think Cherry Lodge is going to be a shorter price than 2-1. I think she's probably going to go off at closer to 6-5. She's got speed, and she should be able to stay out of trouble. And just that statistic on 7 of 8 with favorites on the dirt with 2-year-olds for Pletcher makes me want to just say, okay, I think I'll take Cherry Lodge 6-5 or no, and just go to the windows and start with a single in the pick 4. So that it's just a 1-horse race for me. So Cherry Lodge on top, and I guess I will pass it on to Rich, and I'm sure Rich will have some more information than I can give you. Rich?
No, actually, I really don't have anything more than what Ray gave you, actually, to be honest with you, because I've got the exact same picks that Ray had, and I have them in the exact same order. So I've got Sweet Loretta on top of Cherry Lodge having the racing experience, and a little bit of an advantage. Interestingly enough, the buyer speed figures, but here we're looking at the Brisnet figures and all that,
right.
And you can see that a number is a number is a number. So I went 1-5 on top. All the things that you talked about: Todd Pletcher, Javier Castellano. Nice combination. This is one of those ones I always like to, in the Brisnet forums, they give you the positives and the negatives. And for those of you who like them, there's a whole bunch of positives that's on this horse. I think there's 6 of them, which is about as many as I think they'll allow you to have in the column with the format. And there's nothing over. So I like Sweet Loretta a lot. That was my top pick, was the one. I wasn't about to leave Cherry Lodge out. And if I had to use more than my A picks, my B pick was the same B pick as Ray. That win by the 5-horse or the 3-horse Runway Doll was extremely impressive. I would have liked to have watched a video on that one. Didn't get a chance to. So looks like we've got Ray with 1-5 over 3. Joe's just being brave out here on the bold 5, and Rich has also got the 1 and the 5. And we are going to go ahead and move along to, I believe, the co-feature on this card today. That is race number 10. It's the Woodward Stakes. It's a Grade 1 going 1 mile and 1/8 on the main track. The purse is $600,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. 9 starters, and your morning line favorite in post number 3 is the best older division horse on the East Coast, which means he'd be the 4th best horse on the West Coast. Frosted for trainer Kieran McLaughlin and ridden by Joel Rosario is listed at 1-2 on the morning line. So, Joe, Frosted could be headed for a showdown with the best in the West come Breeders' Cup. I only have one question for you at this point in time. Where are we sitting?
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not buying tickets the way they're pricing them out at this point. They're probably about $50 a shot, but I haven't checked that. But anyway, on to this race. It's going to be a short summation for me. Frosted's the best horse. I'm going to take a free square. He can adapt regardless of how the race unfolds. He can close. He can be on the lead as he showed in his last start. I think ideally he's going to sit off of Braidster, make sure he does not get away. And basically his last 2 Grade 1 wins could not have been any easier or any more impressive. And he's just the best horse. I don't think there's really much more analysis that needs to go into that. I see all of Rich's. Rich made a point to show us all the stars about Sweet Loretta in the last race. You can circle all 5 of those stars for Frosted as well in this spot. So I just think we'd take it easy, go deep. I mean, we've had this happen for about, I guess this would be 3 weeks in a row where we would single one horse in this, and I think this is the spot. I don't think anybody beats Frosted. Braidster is going to may make him earn it. But like I said, I just think he's the best horse on the East Coast right now, and I just don't think we need to go any deeper than the one deep in this race, and it's the 3 Frosted for Kieran McLaughlin and Joel Rosario. Ray, do you have any differing or dissenting opinion about this race?
No, I'd love to single Frosted. I mean, so we could play on. I'm looking the next race is a big ticket, a lot of numbers.
Keno,
yeah, right, East Coast leader in handicap division, and he's 3 for 4. Dubai Cup, he ran 5th. Give him a pass for that. People still talk about the Met Mile. I mean, he actually followed up with an encore too in the Whitney. Ran well. It's a nice, on the lead, and nobody pressured him, so. I would agree with you, but if anybody wants to be daring, Mutabi, he could stalk them and run past both of them. I'm talking about Braster, who might pressure Foster. He had no shame running a second to California Chrome. And his second race in the U.S., he sure improved. So, Ortiz and McLaughlin were having a good meet. And Braster's got the speed. He could pressure Foster. As we saw last year in Saratoga, with American Foul, they came and they got him. So it happened. It's horse racing. He could give him a battle, but I would probably he's a Steel Foster winner too. So, but I would agree. We've single Fostered, and the next few races we can just play with the numbers. That's pretty safe. Rich, anybody else there? You got?
Seriously? We've been handicapping together for, 6 months together now, and you guys haven't figured this out by me? All right, so Frosted has, in his last 5 races, Frosted has won 3 of them. And the 2 times that he lost to a horse by the name of, so he's pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks like Frosted, as I mentioned, is the best horse on the East Coast. Again, in my book, that would put him very high up on the top list here for the West Coast. But this is an East Coast race, and he is by far the best horse here. So before I get all the East Coast people sending on me here, I had him singled, as Joe put it, with about 30 seconds of analysis when I saw who else was in that race. It's not a bad race. There's actually some good people who are in here. It's just that he's a great horse, and the other ones are good. Looks like, if I'm not mistaken, I've got Joe down with the number 3. I think I've got Ray down with the 3, and underneath, at least Ray gave us a second pick there in case something happens. So we've got Muqtaid underneath for Ray, and again, you've got me with it.
Yeah, if we have room, but definitely the 3 is in there.
Yeah.
Never know. Yeah, nice payoff.
On we go to race number. Let's see. This is race number 11. This is the Glen Falls Stakes. It's a Grade 3 going 1 mile and 3/8 on the inner turf. First is $200,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. 10 starters, and your morning line favorite is in post number 3. Papaza would be the best turf horse in any other barn, but for trainer Chad Brown, she's maybe barely top 7. And that's still good enough to be the 3-1 favorite in a Grade 3. Ray, a couple of weeks back, we singled a Chad Brown turf monster by the name of C. Khaleesi. Last week, we singled his flashy Euro import Flincher. A wise man we both know says, if it ain't broke, it should be. What do you say for the Glen Falls Stakes?
Nah, yeah, I do have 3 of my picks, but I'm looking for some prices here. I got 5 deep here. I'm gonna start off with my top pick is number 8. It's Only Acting Dad, winner of the Grade 3 Matchmaker Stakes in Monmouth. Ran well the mile and a quarter, so that should be no problem. Pletcher Bravo loves won the last 4 out of 7 races. That's a nice 57%. He's getting better and needs pace actually. 4 for 9. The 3 losses have come in races where you see Tepin and Lady Eli. So, she's had some, ran some really tough races. And yes, I go with number 3, Guspasa. Gupasa. She won the weigher at 1.5 miles, cuts back today. Actually, that's a key race on this for this race, the wire. She won it. She's cutting back. She's on 5 races, 2 wins, 1 second, 2 thirds, so it's in the money. And only C. Khaleesi and Dacita finished in front of her in the last 4 races. So she's running well. The Castellano, Chad Brown, he's on his verge of his first train title, so I'd like to congratulate him for his success. Number 4, Ball Dancing, the other Chad Brown. Weakened late in the wire. So I like to switch Alvarado. 16% on the turf. 3rd race off the layoff. And got a sharp 5 furlong workout for 101. Number 6, Suffice. Morning line 4-1. Just missing the wire. Second by a head. Ortiz and Mott are always dangerous. Her last win is a mile and 15/16, if that's correct. Yep. and so she can handle distance. That was the Belmont Croatia Cup, and a good trip will make the race. And then last but not least, you got Akanaha 6-1, and that's at number 10. She was third in the wire. She closed from way back, and Manny Franco rode her last year, so he probably remembers her. Those two allowance races, and but she needs a swift pace to close into, which usually doesn't happen in these long races. So she would have to really be up close. And that's my Keno ticket, like you guys call it. We got the 8, you got the 3, 4, 6, and 10. So good luck. Joe, there's 5 more horses left, see?
You covered the 3 that I went with.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't need to say much about them. I actually like the 6 Suffused for Bill Mott at 4-1 in the morning line, and I just think she was close to Guapaza the last time, and I think maybe, and it could just be I'm just looking for a little bit of a price. Guapaza's run each month for the last 5 months, and I'm wondering. I mean, that last race was a smashing performance, and just looking at the figure on the Brisnet performances that Rich brought up. That was it was miles away her best figure. Now I know turf horses don't generally bounce as much, but again, I'm just looking at maybe Guapaza's has kept running, and Suffused did have a little bit of a break in between before her last start, so maybe she's a little bit fresher and maybe she gets her this time. Guapaza's obviously a deserving favorite. You're going to get Brian Castellano. And if it turns out, if this pick 4 turns out the way it might, you might be lucky to get double digits for a 50-cent investment if Guapaza happens to win. And Ray's top choice, the 8 was the other horse I went with. It's Only Acting Dad, based on the figure that she earned in the matchmaker. And Joe Bravo's up, but she'll get tested for class today. So I went 6-3-8, and that's as deep as I went. And like I said, Ray pretty much covered everything we had. I'm going to send it over to Rich to see if there's anything else that we need to add to Ray's Keno ticket. Rich?
Yeah, let's see. I actually did have something that was not on Ray's Keno ticket. So first of all, he said the name wrong on the 8. This is a Valley Girl name, so it's not pronounced correctly like that. You have to have a little attitude. This is something that Joe's probably going to hear not too long ago. I was like, it's Only Acting Dad. So I actually like that horse quite a bit myself. The one horse I believe that Joe or that Ray may have skipped over would be our Euro Invader. I am born in the middle of April, so it shouldn't surprise anybody that I'm leaning towards a horse named Aries. This is I believe this is the replacement for this is the replacement for Wake Forest. This is a horse that came around in Germany, and Wake Forest won these same races. A year before, so he was the older division turf horse. He's 4 years old. You know me and Euro turf horses coming in, and so I was willing to take a shot with Aries as well and have him on my ticket. So I think I had the 5 on there on what actually showed up to be almost like Rich's Keno ticket. So I had the 3 Guapaza. I did not have Ball Dancing. I have the 5 Aries. I have the 6 Suffused. I have the 8, It's Only Acting Dad, and that was last time. I'm not too far off from Ray's Keno ticket.
I had put that horse down, but I took him out. I didn't want to mention 6 of them. That I'm crazy.
You didn't want to be crazy.
Huh? No, I had them areas. I took them out.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you. Now I'm covered.
Yep, there you go. There you go. All right. So here we go into our finale. Now, after 3 stakes races, we are on to race. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me summarize that. Just make sure I got them right. So Ray had the 3, the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 10. I believe Joe has the 3, the 6, and the 8, and Rich has the 3, the 5, the 6, and the 8. All right. Race number 12. This is an allowance optional claiming 80,000. They're going a mile and a 16th on the turf. Purse is $85,000. This is for 3-year-olds which have never won 10,000 other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred allowance, or which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $80,000. 11 starters, and your morning line favorite is in post number 4. Annals of Time, trained by, where have we heard this name before? Chad Brown, and ridden by Irad Ortiz, is 3-1 on the morning line. All right, Joe. Last race of the pick 4 at Saratoga for the Three Broke Guys in 2016. We are sitting on a goose egg for the summer at Saratoga so far. So let's finish strong like Arrogant or California Chrome. Go off for the Three Broke Guys, Joe.
Okay. I actually like I like a horse here, and I like a little bit of a price. Not a big price, but I kind of like the Rail Runner. The number 1, Tis a Runner, at morning 9-2 on the morning line for Junior Alvarado and Mark Cassie. Makes his 3rd start in the form cycle. He's adding blinkers today off a career best buyer speed figure. He's also 4 times stakes placed at Woodbine and at Gulfstream. So he's got a little bit of class in him, and we're not sure exactly what to make of the others. And out of that last race, 3 horses have come back to win, including the winner, who is Our Way, who won the Better Talk Now stakes earlier. If I believe, I want to say it was during this week at Saratoga. So there have been 3 horses that have come back to win out of that last race. So it's a live heat. Unfortunately, the only problem I guess I have is that the horse seems to always either be wide or find trouble, and he's even been down on the rail. So I would figure, well, the way everything's been going at Saratoga, it seems as if a lot of horses are getting through on the rail, and I kind of hope Junior Alvarado decides to, instead of just go in 8 wide like he did last time, and just wait. Unfortunately, they're not gonna do what Aaron Greider did with Inordinate for Flincher. I don't think it's gonna part like the Red Sea, but I'm kind of hoping that Alvarado stays down on the inside, and maybe he can get through on the inside and run these down late. And the other horse I have to add is the Chad Brown, Annals of Time. I know he's 3-1 in the morning line. He's a favorite. He ran a huge. I mean, that race last November was huge at Aqueduct. At least the speed figure came out huge. But I actually was kind of wondering why, if you look at his works. He was working at Saratoga. He at least worked twice at Saratoga in July, and then they sent him back down to Belmont. And I'm kind of wondering if that's something that anybody's even noticed before. Normally, I would think Brown would want to keep the horse up there instead of shipping back to Belmont, have it work at Belmont and 5 or 6 times, and then come back. I kind of wonder if there's something strange about the environment. I mean, obviously, it's just me trying to read the tea leaves. And trying to figure out a way for that this pick 4 doesn't pay $8 for a 50-cent investment. So I guess I'm trying to find some way to beat this horse. Like I said, I like the 1 a little bit, but I can absolutely see the 4 winning. And again, I just was kind of concerned or confused about why the horse was sent back to Belmont to train as opposed to training up at Saratoga. Maybe Chad Brown just has too many horses up there and he didn't have enough space for this one. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, I'm grasping at straws trying to beat Chad Brown on turf races at Saratoga. So I'm going to hand it off to Ray. Like I said, I got the 1 on top, but I would just as soon go 1-4 in this spot. Like my personal pick 4 would be a $3 investment, and I would hope to get about 15 back if I was lucky. So I will hand it off to you, Ray. Do you have any other opinion in the nightcap?
Yeah, I do. I like number 5, Forever in Love, 195-1. Good form, 3 for 5 on the turf. Got the leading rider Jose Ortiz on all 6 races. Should be stalking to make a run. I see at Saratoga she's 2 for 2. He's 2 for 2. So you know, he liked the course over there. Could be one of those things where he won last year, won this year. Oh, he already won this year, so like Cavorting, we're going to track on that one 3 years in a row. So I don't know if they'll catch 4-star Dave, but that may never happen. But you know, he may like it up there. So that's my top pick. I also like your horse, Joe. Number 1, Tis a Runner. Good second in the same level, although going 8 wide at the mile. That distance is definitely going to help. 3rd race this year, like you mentioned. Mark Caskey's 40% in the money and adds blinkers, like you mentioned. And the rail, Yeah, he probably needs to work out a trip, so hopefully he'll get some room. And Alvarado, he's pretty good in grass, so he should be able to get through at the right time. Also, I'll mention number 2, Hockey School, 5-1. Get some speed. Weakened late last time. 4 wide while making the lead. Second race off the layoff should be tighter here. The same level and should get some support to win those. And back to the distance where he broke his main by 6. So those are my 3 horses I like: the 5, the 1, and the 2. I'm not even looking at the 4 to this race. You know, I'd rather take a shot and hopefully if we're alive and get something back. All right, Rich, this is the last race for Saratoga. I'll pick 4. So do you have anybody here you have in mind?
Yeah, this was the final part of my keynote ticket because I kind of went revert. I kind of went very shallow early on this time and just left it open to go ahead and try and bomb away these last 2 races. Kind of almost the inverse of what I had last week, where I singled with Flincher and Exaggerator in the last 2 legs last week and kind of shortened up that way. So initially, it looks like I was right there with my 2 partners. I had Tither Runner as my top pick for all the same reasons that you already heard Joe and Ray kind of elaborate on. One of the things you saw me going down here to our summary page and just making sure to take a look at our numbers for a mile and a 16th on the turf. Not the inner turf, but essentially the outer turf. Very hard to win from the lead. As a matter of fact, going wire to wire, almost impossible. That's 21 races. That's a very good sample size. Only getting 5% that are coming on the E. So EP, you get a little bit better, but again, you want to be kind of off the pace here at Saratoga when you're coming on the grass. As a matter of fact, this is one of those ones where being a late closer is really going to set you up the best. So I did like Tizzer Runner. I'm a big fan of Mark Cassie. And again, a lot of the information that Joe and Ray already kind of detailed on the Mark Cassie horse. Junior Alvarado being a good jockey. Cassie's numbers are all good, and the horse is proven on the turf already. So, that was my top pick. Ray was all over my second pick. My backup pick, actually my top pick before I decided with number 1 was Forever in Love. I've kind of got, Forever in Love, I've kind of got a horse crush on Linda Rice anyway. She's a fantastic trainer. Her and Jose Ortiz are hitting 22% together. Ray already caught this. 2 for 2 at Saratoga, 3 for 2 at the distance, 3 for 5 on the grass. So I don't think you want to ignore this horse. I want to include that horse on my pick 4. So I have that down there. Another horse that's down here that I'm considering playing, even though I see the bias of this track does not help this one at all. This is why he's a four line with Steve Asmussen and Bibbo and John Velasquez down here. Horse has been very solid coming into this. Had won 3 in a row before finishing 3rd in that last one. And, thought I'd be remiss in not mentioning the other Mark Cassie horse. Not that I was necessarily going to play him, and you guys have heard me this time, so I'm going to use Joe's option. I'm not going to split my kings, but I guess I'll consider Mark Cassie an ace in this one, and I'll go ahead and split my aces in this one. But I will mention that Blackout was the best album that the Scorpions ever put out. And, so that was it for me there. I had the 1, the 5. I also, like I said, I was debating on whether or not I was going to use the 7. And then if I have to, and again, Joe has kind of already touched on this one, that horse Annals of Time, I would love to have it on the pick 4 ticket, but again, I'm not crazy about pick 4s that pay $11.25, although the guys will tell you I hit them quite often.
Like I said, if it turns out to be Pletcher and then Frosted and then Chad Brown, that's probably what you're going to get.
So I got Joe down there with the 1 and the 4. I've got Ray with the 1, the 5, and I believe the 2.
Yeah, 5 and 2. Yeah.
And I had the 1, the 5, and the 4. All right. Come back here for 1 second, and we will go ahead and build our pick 4 ticket.
All right. Well, I guess I'm always the one who seems to want to fill the time in between. So you got a second for me to go, because I know New York's.
Go ahead.
New York started a pick 5. Now, I'm not sure. I thought I saw that it was called the NYRA Bets pick 5. I don't know if that means it's only available to NYRA Bets customers or if it's available to everybody. I understand it's a 15% takeout. And considering that my pick 4, my personal pick 4 would cost $3, I was like, well, why can't I just look at a pick 5? And I actually in race 8, I kind of like a couple of longer price horses. I like the 13, Eckelhaas, who's a speedy sort at post 13, 6-1 in the morning line, should be prominent from the outside for Kieran McLaughlin. And yes, I know, Rich, this is not a competition, but my second choice in the race is called New York Chrome. He's 5-1 on the morning line. He's got 4 wins, including 2 at the distance, and his form is rock solid. And the Jason Service barn is 7 for 30 at the meet, so he's solid. He's another speed type, and 7 furlongs has been more friendly to speed types than I ever remember it being at Saratoga. So I would go 13-9, and then I would put in the favorite, the morning line favorite, number 10, Neolithic, who ran a huge figure behind Summer Revolution last time, so he's probably going to be the likely favorite. So I go 13, 9, and 10 in race 8, which would make my pick 5 investment if I decided to go with one, a grand total of $9.
Wow. You fit the pick 4 and the pick 5, not even break a point.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I could almost have enough for one of those carved corned beef sandwiches we love so much at Santa Anita.
Well, I will, since Joe did it and my template's ready to go and things like that, I will just elaborate a little and let everybody know that tomorrow at Del Mar, that not only do we get the Del Mar Debutante, which is the companion race, I guess, for the Spinaway over here on the West Coast, but you will also have the permanently disabled jockey funds. They are having a hoppity ball contest tomorrow, featuring the jockeys from here in Southern California. So guys like Gary Stevens, and I saw Austin Solis was in there, Mario Gutierrez, Joe Talamo, the whole crowd is in the front of it. It was 12 field. The field was like 12 deep with Gary Stevens and Mike Smith. So it's a hoppity ball contest. For those of you who are interested, and you know the Three Broke Guys, we bet on everything like that. I'm actually going with a long shot in that one. I have heard that Austin Solis, not only does he come from a legacy, we all know his father is Alex Solis, who's a Hall of Fame jockey and things like that, but I've heard that his mother was like a hoppity ball champion. So on the dam side, Austin Solis.
Yeah, he's also younger than those other guys like Stevens and Smith. They have older knees than he does. Their knees are, well, actually that's what Stevens, that may not necessarily be true, because I'm not sure if his knees are actually replacement.
He just won his first race. Congratulations.
But anyway. Austin. Yeah, he did. I did see that.
Congrats.
It was, I think it was yesterday.
No, it was on Wednesday. He won the finale.
Wednesday?
He won the finale on Wednesday aboard a Peter Miller horse. The pick 4 paid $600, and I missed it because Holy Loot got the bounce on Jimmy Mouser. One of my San Luis Rey horses, McKenna, ran second in the Tranquility Stakes that day. So Scott Hansen was on TVG, and she ran great. Yeah. All right, we are all ready to go ahead and put our pick 4 ticket together. Let me go ahead and I think I'm sharing my screen already, right? Have I got that up?
Yep. I'm gonna go get a pen, guys. So give me about 30 seconds. Alrighty.
I don't know about you guys. I used to like the Woodward at Belmont. Part of 4 triple in the 4.
Yeah,
It's,
I know.
The Woodward, the Marlboro, the Jockey Club, Gold Cup. I used to like that. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, when Marlboro could actually sponsor a race, yeah.
Yeah. Before the British Cup, that used to be a good.
Yeah.
They moved to Saratoga, so.
Well, yeah, they're changing everything. They're trying to make these huge days, and
Yeah,
that's fine.
They actually split the Turf Classic this year, and also
No,
Jack,
it's cool. It's fun to gamble on those days because the handles are so
not
big.
the first.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Oh no, Rich, you're absolutely right. The handles become huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, and what's funny is I mean, I don't know. Like I said, Ray and I are kind of old school from when I mean, when the Met Mile was an attraction in and of itself. I didn't need 5 other races to go along with it. It was the Met Mile, so it was worth being on a card by itself. I mean, again, I have nothing against the days like they have them now because the handle's just fantastic. What I'd really love them to do is on days like that even lower the takeout. If you think the handle's good now,
Yeah.
it would be even better on day if they wanted to do it on days like that. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
All right, so up on the screen I've got our pick 4.
Beautiful.
Got the 1-5 in race 9, just singles frosted in race number 10. There's our Keno machine ticket in race number 11, and not so much less than that in race 12.
Okay, I want to make a suggestion because I know Ray did not mention it. I know Rich and I both mentioned it, but I'm kind of wondering, do you guys want to keep the Chad Brown in there in the last race? And the only reason I ask is because if it does turn out to be formful, we could hit this ticket and still lose money. And again, I like winning tickets as much as the next guy, but we didn't get really any ringing endorsements for the horse, and I'm just wondering if we want to try to use price horses in that last race to at least get some value out of it in case Plaza happens to win.
I didn't mention I don't like them at all.
It's only a difference of $6. It'll be a difference of $6 for you, and I would imagine that even if you hit the chalk in all 4 races, you'll cover $24.
I would doubt it, Rich. I'll be frank. I doubt it.
At Saratoga, Joe, in the summer.
Maybe if the one wins.
With Frosted at 1-9 and Guapaza with the Chad Brown factor, I'll say it'll be close.
Yeah, this is not. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but this is not Del Mar on Thursday. This is not Santa Anita on Thursday.
No, Rich is right.
This is Saratoga on Saturday, and pick 4. I mean, go ahead and do your research. You want to pull up every single pick 4 for this entire summer and see if you've seen anything that paid less than $24.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything that paid less than $24. I'm just looking at the possibilities of what the prices could be, and what it might end up paying. I'm not saying it could. I'm not saying it won't pay $24. I'm saying I would doubt it. I mean, I'm saying it'll be close if the 4 favorites all win.
What if we add a horse?
I hope we're wrong, and I hope all 4 favorites don't win, and we won't have to even worry about it. I mean, if we want to keep it, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But like I said, I didn't hear any ringing endorsements. Again, it's well within our budget. I'm not worried about the money. That's not an issue. I'm just.
Is there a horse you want to add, maybe?
No. I have everybody I have is covered in this ticket.
Yeah, 1, 2, 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. Like I said, I'd be looking more to subtract as opposed to add.
Well, I see.
I mean, I'm fine with it. As I said, I didn't do any research on the value of the pick 4 during the summer. I'd be absolutely stunned at Saratoga on a Saturday. Again, I'd be stunned at Del Mar on a Saturday. It paid less than $24, something like that. Those $11 and $9 ones that we're all kind of joking about like that are reserved for those Wednesday, Thursday, Friday ones where you get more chalk.
Okay, I mean, like I said, it's a democracy, and we'll keep it. That's fine. Let me write this down. 1, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay. Cool.
There's nobody we missed in race 11?
Oh, can you guys
No, we went 6 deep, Ray. You got every horse you wanted. What do you mean everybody we missed? If we hit the all button, that's the only other option I think at this point.
What about Bobby Flay's horse, man? He's a good cook.
Good. If he wants to come over to my house and make me dinner, great. I'm not betting his horse just because it's his horse.
They say if he wins, I'm gonna go to Lang Seal. Say right to his restaurant. You beat Bobby Flay, you beat me.
He's still got a restaurant in Atlantic City?
Yeah, it's in Bogota, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought most of the Atlantic City casinos were closed at this point.
It's hard to get in there, I tell you. You need a reservation.
Oh.
You need to be someone.
Yeah.
I show up and be like, excuse me, what are you here for?
No, you tell him you're one of the 3 broke guys. You give him a business card next time, and you'll be in.
Yeah.
All right, you guys got anything else you want to add for this episode, or?
Just actually kind of looking forward to Kentucky Downs next week.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Haven't done that, and it's funny after the handicapping. I was going to say after handicapping this card, I'm like, yeah, I think we probably. I was remiss, and I probably made a mistake in voting for this track, or instead of saying, yeah, we should have done Kentucky Downs, but I guess we'll make.
No, we had 2 grade ones. You got the spinaway in there, so you get at least one of the 2 old races. I think this was a good spot. So.
Well, yeah, and we'll get Kentucky Downs next week.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, so if you enjoyed the show, we will be back next week, as you heard the guys talking about. We're going to get together and take a look at another exciting card. This is another new track for the 3 broke guys, as we're going to check out the exciting turf action, all turf racing from Kentucky Downs in Franklin, Kentucky. Okay, for Anastasia Austin, who joined us tonight, and I apologize, Anastasia, for not getting the volume correct. I will make sure I get that straight for next week, so if you can get us your Franklin, Kentucky broadcast for the weather, we will make sure we've got that set up right ahead of time. Gentlemen, that's all the time we have for tonight. It's always a pleasure to handicap with the 2 of you. For Joe English and Ray Torado, I'm Rich Sharp. Thank you for watching 3 Broke Guys Handicapping, and good luck and good night.
All right, good night.